Welcome to another edition of the Hoop Scoop. I'm Jared Johnson. Huge news for Red Raider basketball as Texas Tech picked up one of its most important pieces in terms of its floor general in Elijah Hawkins, who committed to Texas Tech on Tuesday. Actually, I'd heard from a couple of good sources on Monday, that at least Monday morning, that nothing was certain yet. It wasn't a done deal, but why it's a big deal for Texas Tech is going into the transfer portal window. Uh, Point guard and center were the two main targets, were the two main positions Texas Tech had to replace. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of production to replace, but talking to some people in and around the program, replacing Joe Toussaint as the floor general was atop the list, right there with getting a center. Of course, Federico, the transfer from Pitt, Finnish native, he provides at least some defense and rebounding at center, some length. He committed to Texas Tech and has already signed with the Red Raiders earlier in the transfer portal window. You got Kevin Overton, a 6'5" shooting guard from Drake, but who I really like, and that's a big piece as well. But getting that floor general, what I mean by floor general is a guy who sets up all the pieces, sets up a Darion Williams, sets up a Chance McMillan, finds Kerwin Walton open for a spot up, open three. And that is what Elijah Hawkins is coming out of Minnesota. 9.5 points, 7.5 assists, I believe 3.6 rebounds he averaged for Minnesota last year. Obviously, coming from Minnesota, they played pretty good competition there. He's 5'11", and I'm not sure, especially with basketball, sometimes the weights are a little off. So I'm not exactly sure just how slender he is. I've seen him listed as small as 165 pounds. But if he's already playing, big time, power 6, power 5, whatever you want to call it, big time basketball, he's used to the rigors of that kind of conference schedule. So it should be okay. To me, this was one of the main things that Texas Tech needed to get done before the transfer portal window closed, and certainly before some of these summer sessions start and the players come in. But I really believe in today's day and age, you need an experienced point guard. Don't get me wrong; there's other guys who can set other people up. Darion Williams is a very versatile player. He's going to have a certain amount of assist and be able to play make for Texas Tech, make some plays happen, set some other guys up. But you really needed a replacement, like I said, for Joe T. And I really think Hawkins is. He makes a lot of sense. I think he's a perfect fit. 7.5 assists a game, that's huge. I mean, this guy can really play. He's going to make all those other players that I mentioned before a lot better. He's going to make life a lot easier for all those guys. So Hawkins is a huge addition. It almost had to happen. Not that there aren't other quality point guards out there, but Hawkins came in on that official visit. Clearly, Texas Tech really liked him. He was here just this last weekend. And the fact that he left and didn't immediately insta-commit was a little bit different. But just a couple of days later, he has committed, and like I said, a very big get, almost a must-have for the Red Raiders. So I still think they need another big, preferably a scoring forward. But if you got like a center type who was, even if he's just pretty good offensively and can be another rim protector for you, that'd be great. Some more scoring options, like a wing type player, a long, versatile, guy who could fill it up, create his own shot, stuff like that would be really nice. But even another, nice 3-and-D piece would be great. But this was a huge puzzle piece for Texas Tech, Elijah Hawkins. So I think for those who are really nervous about, Texas Tech's roster and how the transfer portal is going, like I said, with the additions of Overton, Federico, and now Hawkins, and not to mention, like I said, bringing Darion Williams back, Chance McMillan. We'll have to see, where Yalaho is in terms of his development next year. But Devin Cambridge too, his knee, just how healthy he is. But getting those guys to come back, obviously Darion Williams and Chance McMillan, and now adding these pieces, you're starting to see the big picture, and it looks pretty good. We'll have to see how they round it out, but for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.